beyond the screens. Behind the Philippines. Lie the stories of Filipinos navigating the digital world. Digital life in the Philippines. Their journey. Our story. Join the conversation. What are the best and worst things about growing up with technology in the Philippines?
The best thing about growing up with technology here in our country, Philippines, is that even when crisis happen, technology helps us to easily communicate, continue our learning, and stay updated on the news without the need of having physical interaction. It becomes so easy for us to do things that we usually do. And the worst thing is when us, human, don't have the control on using technology in a proper way, and technology sometimes can impact our health.
For me, ang pinaka-best siguro ay yung access to information and communication. Like kahit na nasa probinsya ka, basta may internet, pwede ka pa rin makagawa ng assignment mo, ng projects, activities, and pwede ka rin dito matuto ng bagong skills sa YouTube o makipag-chat sa pamilya mo abroad. So, naging malaking tulong ito lalo na nung pandemic. Pero ang worst part is yung digital divide. Kasi hindi lahat may gadgets o may stable na internet, lalo na sa public school students. Sayang kasi may technology pero hindi lahat nakakinabang nito. At isa pa, nakaka-apekto ito sa mental health minsan dahil sa sobrang exposure sa social media. Like full of comparison, pressure, and toxic.
For me, the best things about growing up with technology in the Philippines is that Filipino youth can have instant access to global knowledge like Wikipedia, encyclopedia, and many more sources. And social media help Filipinos stay close with family and friends, especially when they are far apart. And for the worst thing is that not all areas in the Philippines have a stable internet access or gadgets, which widens inequality in learning in the information technology.
Technology is great because we can connect with our loved ones and the community, and we learn so much online. But sometimes it's also worrying because there's so much fake news, and we have to be careful about what we read and watch.
What's been the hardest part of learning to use new technology? And what advice would you give others?
The hardest part of learning to use new technology is to come up with the updates and explore learning that is new in our eyes. And the thing that I would advise to others is to learn from it, even it is not familiar. Just be used to it until it becomes easy to use in our daily lives.
So for me, yung part na nahirapan ako is yung biglang pag-adapt sa bagong apps or platforms, lalo na kung required ito sa schools or academic purposes. Isa na rito nung una kong paggamit ng Google Classroom or TBL kasi minsan nakakalito talagang gamitin sila, lalo na kapag first time mo. So ang advice ko rito is don't be afraid to explore kasi practice makes progress. So use tutorials, ask help from friends, or join free webinars. Kasi maraming ways para matuto ngayon, basta may willingness ka.
The hardest part of learning the use of new technology is that adapting to changes, like on many platforms, it can be overwhelming, especially sa mga matatanda na hindi na nila na-adapt yung complexity ng mga platforms. Lalo na kapag yung mga features nagbabago. And for those without guidance, even simple things like file formats, online etiquette, or troubleshooting can be a barrier. And sa advice naman, for me, my advice when using using new technology is start small, learn basic tools like Word, Excel, search engines, and yung mga basic tools na ginagamit ng karamihan.
At first, learning new apps was difficult. It felt like there was so much to remember. But with the help of online tutorials, with YouTube, and those who are more knowledgeable, I gradually mastered them. My advice is don't be afraid to ask questions and seek help to more people around you.
What are the upsides and downsides of using lots of devices? And how do you stay organized?
The upside of using a lot of devices is that I have the capability to open multiple tabs and browsers and do it all at once. But the downside sometimes gadgets are, or technology is having an internet difficulty. When I open multiple tabs and nagmi-mix up na yung mga activities na kailangan kong tapusin. Kaya to stay organized, I can open all the tabs but one at a time.
Siguro ang upside dito ay yung productivity. Kasi madaling mag-switch from one task to another. Lalo na kung may extra phone ka, tablet, or laptop. Kasi pwede ka rin mag-multitask like online class sa Google Meet habang may notes ka sa ibang screen. Pero ang downside dito ay yung digital clutter. Kasi ang dami mong tabs, files, and notification. So, minsan nakaka-stress talaga yun. Kaya ang ginagawa ko, gumagamit ako ng apps like Google Keep para sa to-do list, and nagsaset din ako ng focus time or screen time limits para hindi ako masyadong ma-overwhelm.
For me, the upsides of using a lot of devices is that multitasking is easier, especially to those people using work from home setup. They can use one device for communication and other for working. Devices can help store and access files quickly and manage schedules. As for the downsides, it's easy to get distracted and overwhelmed, especially for having more devices. Notifications, updates, and battery issues can cause stress. It can become expensive to maintain those multiple gadgets. And as for staying organized, I can recommend using digital tools like Google Calendar, Notion, or Trello. And also, set time limits or use focus mode on your phone, especially when you are working at home.
Many gadgets are a great help in my work and studies. I became more efficient and productive, but sometimes it's also tiring. So setting boundaries and scheduling digital detox is important so my brain and eyes can rest.
How can Filipino families and schools improve tech education for everyone?
To have exploration and brainstorm, sharing and learning from each other to be improved in technology education for everyone.
Siguro una na rito is schools should integrate technology slowly but surely. And hindi lang dapat puro PowerPoint or Canva, ganun. So dapat turuan din natin yung students kung paano gamitin ang tools like Google Workspace, digital research skills, at basic troubleshooting. And pangalawa naman, Filipino families should treat technology learning as a shared experience. So hindi lang dapat ang bata ang marunong. Kahit si lola or si mama or kahit sinong relatives yan, dapat pwede nating turuan sila kung paano mag-email or video call since technology is for everyone. At pinaka-importante naman dito ay yung government support for affordable internet and devices. Kasi kung walang access, walang learning.
Filipino families and schools can improve tech education for everybody, especially to those students, is that schools should offer more practical computer classes, not just theory, even basic coding or basic troubleshooting can help, especially for their personal devices or computers. And also affordable access. Government or NGOs can provide gadgets and stable internet for low-income families. And the third one is that digital literacy programs. Teach not just how to use tech, but how to stay safe online, especially for the cyber attacks, to spot fake news and manage screen time. And lastly is the parental involvement. Parents should also be taught how to use devices so they can guide their kids better.
For tech education in the Philippines to be effective, a holistic approach is needed. Students should be taught not only how to use technology but also responsible use, including digital citizenship and critical thinking skills. Collaboration between schools, families, and the community is also important.